Hi everyone, and welcome to this second video in our Flash game design series. We're looking at how to make a simple Pong game in Flash, and we're going to be using a programming language called ActionScript 3. So this is possibly an introduction to computer programming for some of you who are watching this video series. A quick review of our first video. We set up our game area. We have a player paddle, we have a computer paddle, we have some scoring boxes, and we have the ball. And if we go into our properties panel, we can just see that we have given each of the kind of characters of our game an instance name. So this I've called player. This computer paddle I've simply called computer, and the ball here I'm simply calling it ball. And by giving each individual character of our game individual and unique names, we will be able to use those names as we program the characters using ActionScript. And we're going to have an introduction to that in today's tutorial. In fact, we're going to be looking at the ball today. So our ball character, we're going to be messing around with ActionScript as we try to understand coordinates in Flash games. Okay, so before we get to that, I'm just going to draw up a little graphic here to try and help you understand coordinates in ActionScript. Now, I hope that you are all familiar with graphs and that kind of thing. I hope you're all familiar with the x-axis, which is our horizontal axis, and our y-axis, which is our vertical axis. And in Flash games, the top left corner of the game area has a coordinate of 0, 0. Remember, the x coordinate always comes first, and then the y coordinate. So in a Flash game, the top left area of the game area, the top left corner of the game area has a coordinate of 0, 0. And as we move to the right, the x value gets bigger, and as we move down, the y value gets bigger. So for example, if I was to take the ball and put it here, we could imagine that this has a coordinate of 50, 80, something like that. Because in this position here, the x coordinate value has got bigger, it's become 50, and the y coordinate value has also got bigger. For example, it has become 80. So we could look at our Flash game area. Here it is. The top left-hand corner, as I've just suggested, has a coordinate of 0, 0, and as the ball moves to the right, the x value gets bigger, and as the ball moves down, the y value gets bigger. Now, what are these numbers here? Well, this is the width of the game area in my Flash game, and I'll show you how to check yours in a moment. And this is the height of the game area. So when the ball reaches the bottom right corner of the game area, it has a coordinate value of, well, the x coordinate has become 550 and the y coordinate has become 400. So in that position there, this is the coordinate of my ball. Okay? Now in Flash, I'm just going to show you how to find out the width and the height of your game area, because yours might be different to mine. If you go to Modify Document, it will tell you the width of your game area and the height of your game area. Okay, so those are two important numbers for your Flash game that you will need to know. Now then, let's go to Window, Actions, shortcut F9. Okay, I'm going to use the shortcut F9. Brilliant. actually, I also want to show you something that you should also have as well. Let's just open up my timeline. Make sure you've created an actions layer, because you're going to be typing your ActionScript code in the first frame of that layer. So in your actions layer, first frame, and open up the actions window by pressing F9 on your keyboard. Okay? F9. There we go. Brilliant. Now, do you remember I called this ball. So what happens if I do this? Ball.x equals 0. Ball.y equals 0. There's a little bit of ActionScript code. Notice that x becomes blue and y becomes blue. This is because ActionScript knows exactly what we're talking about when we want to play with the x coordinate or the y coordinate of a game character. Now, what happens when I run my game? I'm hoping that when I run my game, the ball is going to jump into the 0, 0 coordinate position. Ball.x equals 0, ball.y equals 0. Well, the ball should be here, right? Let's find out. Yay! Brilliant! Now, what if I want to position the ball in the very center of my game area? Right in the center. Well, we know that the width of my game area is 550 pixels. So half of that is 275. We also know that the height of my game area is 400. So half of that is 200. So if I give my ball an x value of 275 and a y value of 200, it should put the ball into the middle of my game area. So I'm going to go back to my actions keyframe here, and I'm going to change the x to 275 and the y to 200. Let's just move that out of the way over there, and when we run the game, hopefully this will jump into this coordinate location. Boom! Yes, it does. Awesome! Alright, so before we finish today and you have a go at the challenges that are on offer on the website, I'm just going to show you something else. I'm going to go to my library. Where is my library? I'm going to drag out another ball. There we go. I'm going to go into Properties, and I'm going to give this a new name. Don't call it ball. We've already got ball. That's ball. So this is going to be ball 2. There we go. So now I've got ball 2 on my stage and ball on my stage. I'm just going to rename it ball 1. This is ball 1 and this is ball 2. Now what happens in ActionScript if I do this? Let's go back to my ActionScript layer. I tell you what, okay, it doesn't matter. Ball 1, ball1.x equals 275 and ball1.y equals 200. So ball 1 is going to go into the middle of my screen. Ball 2.x equals 275. Ball 2.y equals 0. Ooh! Now, what is that going to do to the two balls in my game area? I'm just going to get rid of my timeline for a minute because it's annoying me. I need my timeline to access that window. Timeline, brilliant. Okay. What is this going to do to these two balls? And I need my, oh, there we go. Brilliant. So when I run my code, ball1.x equals 275 and ball1.y equals 200. Well, that's there. ball2.x equals 275, and ball2.y equals 0. Well, that's there. Is that what's going to happen when I run my code? Let's have a look. Bing! Brilliant!